Hey, this is Mike Thompson. We are back in Commodore Productions studios with another great local artist, singer, songwriter, and a wonderful young lady. Ms Leana Carter is here with us tonight to share with us her brand of folky, urban folk kind of music. It's Radio Cosmos Live.
Satellite online.
Transmitting from the third move from the sun. You have tuned into Radio Cosmos.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cosmos Live. Great to have you here, and tonight I am thrilled to have Miss Leana Carter right here in the studio to perform for us. How you doing, Leana?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I'm so glad to be back at Gulf Coast. I was here a couple weeks ago with Tom for sound sessions, and now I'm here with you.
Yeah, this
So
is
I'm
like
honored.
TV. Radio's cool, but come on.
Man.
Now people can see what you're doing.
I know, it's a little scary.
All right, so you're a mom,
I am.
you're a wife, you're a
Yes.
daughter. Tell me about
Correct.
your background. Was it a very musical background, or?
Yes. So I was raised mostly by my grandparents who are from Nashville. Well, my granddad's from Florida and my grandma is originally from Texas, but they met playing music in a band together in Nashville in the early 70s, and they played in Nashville, they played in North Carolina, they ended up in Panama City finally in the 90s and just settled down here. So music was just always in our house growing up. There's always instruments laying around. We would sit around a bonfire and pass around guitars, and that was before the internet was as prevalent as it is now. So it was just a lot of music all the time.
Well, people used to actually, talk to each
Yeah.
other and spend time together.
Exactly.
So did you feel that, I'm assuming if we're some Nashville folks sitting around the campfire, you're playing that kind of music. Kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
that
Classic
homespun kind
country.
of vibe stuff, the classic country.
It was
the
like,
folk.
yeah, old folk songs, bluegrass songs, country songs, a little bit of like Southern rock, maybe like the Eagles, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's not too far from country.
All with just like definitely Southern rootsy vibe to it. Some Southern gospel in there too. All of that stuff. That's strictly
That
what I grew
gospel,
up on.
Whether you believe or not, you got to believe in those changes. They're strong, because it's all about that emotional pull.
Oh, yeah.
So do you see that shaping your music now?
Absolutely. I write music now, and what comes the most naturally to me, if I try to write a song that sounds like a classic country song, it just like comes to me so easy. And I think it's just because it's burned into my brain.
Now, do you find, and we're going to the great thing is we're going to talk to you and then we get to hear your music. So
Yeah.
do you find that you write songs about the experiences in your life?
I do. My granddad was a songwriter, and he wrote with Waylon Jennings and Chris Christopherson and all those great outlaw country people. And he gave me songwriting advice to just write about what you know. So that's what I try to do. And that's all I've done so far. Seems to work.
And one of the things I've heard about and I recognize, I guess, in the music community, there's been a lot of, you have a daughter that had some health issues when she was young.
Yes.
And I know that Tim up at Roberts Hall and a lot of people have, done some charity events for you, and part of that really kind of fed into your music now and your connection to those people. Tell me a little bit about, what you're comfortable with about that, and how the Panama City music community kind of came together for you too.
I'm really glad that you brought that up. So my daughter, she's about to be 2 on Saturday. Her name's Phoebe, and we say she's a famous baby because everywhere we go, people are like, Phoebe, oh, hi, and then talk to us. Oh my gosh, sorry. Thought I had my phone turned down. But they'll recognize Phoebe when we're out and about. And even when she's with my mother-in-law, like people recognize Phoebe and they're like, who are you with Phoebe? But she has a rare genetic condition called Williams syndrome that we found out about last June. We got her genetic testing results the day after she had open heart surgery to repair her heart defects that she had. So the way we discovered what was going on, she had a heart murmur that a cardiologist was following. Not super uncommon for kids to have heart murmurs, so we weren't really worried about it. But after some echoes, her cardiologist told us that she was a little bit suspicious that there might be something deeper going on, and she wanted to do further testing. And she still was really reassuring us, like, you know, it would be super rare if that was the case. I just feel like we need to investigate to rule it out because it's not something we would want to miss. And so what we were worst case scenario preparing for was that her coronary was not normal for some reason. So they did a heart cath and she was 12 months old, which is like crazy. We were super scared. But the cath ended up confirming worse than the worst case scenario. The specific coronary anomaly that she had was that her left main coronary was like closed. It wasn't getting blood flow. So the left side of her heart was like struggling. And her right coronary was like trying to overcompensate. And so her heart had been working really hard. And because of that, the heart cath was too stressful for her. And she ended up going into a cardiac arrest and coding afterwards. They had the ECMO team in there. She ended up having to be put on ECMO to save her life and to keep her alive until they could come up with the surgical plan. The surgeon reviewed the CT and the cath and basically told us she couldn't do surgery to help her. And so we were preparing for either a heart transplant or we didn't know what was going to happen. So we ended up going to Shands. She received surgery. The transplant was still on the table as like a backup plan, but thankfully the surgery was successful. Her heart was able to heal and recover. She came off of ECMO. And the surgeon, Dr. Blywise, shout out to Dr. Blywise, came to us after surgery. And the first thing that he said to us was that she is truly a miracle. And he would never forget her as long as he lives. And his exact words were like, she is really something. I don't even know how she was alive even before we knew about this. Like, it's just truly a miracle in so many ways. So all of that is Phoebe's story. And it's so cool that we're talking about it because May is actually Williams Syndrome Awareness Month.
Hey.
So yeah, it's really rare. Not a lot of people know about it. We had never heard of it before our daughter got diagnosed. So look it up. It's really interesting to learn about. But thank you for asking.
And how is she doing now?
She's doing great now. She's phenomenal. She's
Excellent.
growing.
Excellent.
And yes, also to talk about the fundraisers, Tim Parrish and some other wonderful friends in the music community came together and did some concerts. When we were in Gainesville in the hospital with our daughter, like seeing all of these people at these shows, like showing up for Phoebe, like all the businesses that contributed things for auction or raffle, like the musicians that played, just the people that attended, it was overwhelmingly just incredible for us to process how many people showed up for Phoebe and for us. And so we can never thank Panama City and the Bay County area and even surrounding county areas enough because they really showed up for us.
That's wonderful. And I tell you, not just Tim Parrish, who's up there at Roberts Hall and doing so much up there.
Mm-hmm. Shout out, Tim.
Hey, Tim. But just our community, we are so lucky to be here in a time where it's so, I don't know if it's just because the venues are out there, so there's plenty of gigs to go around. So there's just not this sense of competition and negativeness.
For a small town.
You're always going to have some people that have problems with each other. But,
that's just people.
But in general, as a community, I mean, everybody knows everybody, and it's always a positive kind of vibe to there's always somebody with a handout. So that's a beautiful story.
Thank you so much. I started playing music in 2019, and since then we've met so many amazing people through the music community. And my husband and I talk about, like, for Panama City to be such a small town, like the music community is so vibrant and big and unique. I feel like I've never lived anywhere else, but it seems
Yeah.
like a really special thing to hear. So.
No, it really
Yeah.
is, and it really has been. So, and I can only assume that the experience you've had with your daughter, which I know when my daughter was born, she had some health issues that were kind of akin to some of the things, not to the seriousness level. Of course, for me, it was my daughter, so
Yeah,
it was very serious.
Anything with your kid is serious.
But I can relate, and we went to Shands, and we
Wow.
stayed at the Ronald McDonald House there. I don't know
Yep.
if and those people were so nice, and so it's great that there's that support structure out there of people that are just
it's incredible.
incredible.
We're so
people.
grateful.
And I can only assume that experience, I know how it affected me, but in your songwriting and stuff too, is it maybe an outlet for some of that?
It really should be. I haven't written any songs since then about that experience, to be honest with you. I'm still processing some stuff. I'm still in therapy. I think songs will come out of it, for sure. I have some parts of songs worked out, but it's also like, it takes a lot of emotional energy to like sit and think about it because it's still fresh and it's still scary, I think.
Yeah.
So over time, eventually some songs will definitely come out of it. But
Well, I can tell you from my experience, and obviously the show is about me.
Of
that's why we're
course.
here. No,
they told me it was the Mike Thompson show that I was
yeah,
on, right?
well, Mike Thompson show
Yeah.
starring. But it's a blur for the first. But my daughter's 21 now and about to graduate from college next year and doing
That's awesome.
super well, and I'm sure only the best will come for you. And it's a road. It's a journey,
It
not a
is.
destination. So
Yeah.
anyway, how about we play some of this music we've been talking all around for a
Sounds
minute?
good. Let's
So
do it.
go ahead. The stage is
Okay.
yours.
All right. Well, since we're talking about Phoebe, I'm going to do a song that I wrote about Phoebe. And this song was actually scheduled to come out, I believe June 14th was the original date. But June 11th is when Phoebe coded in the hospital and all this crazy stuff ensued. So needless to say, we postponed the release of the song, and it actually crossed my mind, like, am I ever going to get to release this song about Phoebe? Or if I do, will it be in the same way? Because we didn't know what the outcome was going to be with her. But thankfully, after we got home and settled in, we were able to release it in a positive light. And the song's called Changes. Get ready for a lot of sleepless nights. Hope you know money's about to be tight. You can say bye to late nights on the town, hanging with your friends. Yeah, your life is gonna change. It'll never be the same. No one ever told me the greatest change I'd see would be the change that I see in myself. Oh, I wonder if anyone can tell. I'm praying more than I've ever prayed, and I cherish every day. I'm feeling deeper than I've ever felt, and that's the change that I see in myself. I used to wake up to my alarm. Now I wake up to her in my arms. When I see her little smile, it gives me strength to face the day. Used to just worry about myself. Now I live for someone else. I'm completely overwhelmed in the best possible way. That's the change that I see in myself. Oh, I wonder if anyone can tell. I'm praying more than I've ever prayed. Now I cherish every day. I'm feeling deeper than I've ever felt. That's the change that I see in myself. never prayed, now I cherish every day. This is a love that I've never felt, and that's the change that I see in myself. All right, and that was called Changes. Thanks, I appreciate it. It's so weird playing like one person. This is unusual, but yeah, that's the one I wrote about becoming a parent, and you can find that one on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever it's called, YouTube, all the places where you can stream music. And I'm so sorry about this. I'm gonna make sure my phone's on silent really quick because I do not want it going off. Sorry about that. I thought I turned it on silent and I turned it off of silent before we started. But kind of connecting to Phoebe being in the hospital as well, my granddad, who taught me how to play guitar, taught me music, he actually passed away while Phoebe was coming off of heart and lung bypass. So she was coming out of surgery, like almost to the exact minute. He went into a cardiac arrest and passed away. He had a lot of health issues at the time, but it still wasn't to the point where we expected that to happen that quickly. So that was crazy to process. Just being really, really happy that Phoebe was well, but also really sad that he had gone away so unexpectedly. It was a strange experience, and I'm still processing that too, and I'm sure we'll get some songs about that eventually. But I'm going to do a song that I wrote in the style of a classic country song, because that is what I was heavily influenced by from my grandparents and growing up. So this one is called No More Tears to Cry, and it's a sad one, but it's not a true story. I thought your love for me was true, that you could never make me blue. But you have proved me wrong once more. Tonight, when you walk right out the door, do I really want to know where it is you go when you leave me all alone here in our empty home? I ask you no questions, you tell me no lies, 'cause I got no more tears to cry. I know you thought I was asleep, but last night I heard the telephone ring. You whispered the words I've been longing to hear. They were meant for someone else's ears. Do I really want to know where it is you go when you leave me all alone here in our empty home? I ask you no questions and you tell me no lies, 'cause I got no more tears to cry. I ask you no questions and you tell me no lies, 'cause I got no more tears to cry. All right, thanks again. That one's called No More Tears to Cry, and I feel like I always need to specify that it is not based on a true story. My husband is not cheating on me. He's a good man, but I wanted to write a sad country song. And that one was inspired by Roberts Hall, actually, because I was going to be doing a show at Roberts Hall in Lynn Haven, which is a really old, really cool venue where Hank Williams Sr. performed in his youth. So I wanted to write a song in the style of Hank Williams, although disclaimer, I do not think I can emulate Hank Williams because he is one of a kind, but it was inspired by Hank Williams. So I'll do one more original because I don't want to leave out my husband. I sang about Phoebe, so I'm going to sing about him too. This one's for my main squeeze, Jordan Carter, and he better be watching this. Remember what song I'm playing. This one's called Silly Love. Never been much into romance. I've never been one to slow dance. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And I've got two left feet anyway. But you make all those silly love songs make sense. Life is like a fairy tale, just trying to pay the rent. As long as we're together, we may not be fancy, but you make me feel like dancing. Even though you dance way better. I remember when we met on the first day of school. The last empty seat was right next to you. You smiled politely that day in early September. It was a day I'll always remember. 'Cause you make all those silly love songs make sense. Life is like a fairy tale, just trying to pay the rent. As long as we're together, we may not be fancy, but you make me feel like dancing. Even though you dance way better, you make all those silly love songs make sense. And life is like a fairy tale, just trying to pay the rent. As long as we're together, we may not be fancy, but you make me feel like dancing. In the middle of the kitchen, while I'm frying homemade chicken. I don't have a lot of money, but at least you think I'm funny. Even though you dance way better. Yeah, I'll admit you dance way better. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks for clapping.
Very nice, very nice. No. So, excuse me.
You're good.
So, you've been playing a lot of shows around town.
Yes.
And a lot of cover shows and things too. I know you do some cover music.
Yeah.
How do you find when you play these events that are more the singer-songwriter things, and you're getting together with other groups?
Yeah.
Like goes on up at Roberts Hall. Mm-hmm. What do you take away from that, as far as other than a chance to perform?
Uh-huh.
But with the other musicians, what do you take away from that kind of event?
Oh goodness. Well, I usually learn a lot from other artists when we do shows. Like I've opened up for Sugarcane Jane at Roberts Hall, which they're now like a really big inspiration to my husband and I, because they're a husband and wife duo out of Alabama, and they kind of travel the Southeast, and they have an amazing resume of things that they've done musically, and they're still traveling and playing. And so my husband and I aspire to be like them. So I'm usually inspired by the other artists I get to work with. And it's also inspiring to see the community turn out for what's usually original music, because it's like, wow, people do want to hear this and they want to support it. And so it's just inspiring every time, I think, most of all.
Yeah, I found that it's interesting that you get these, these groups that are of people that come out and they're listening. It's not the wine and cheese crowd that it's a social event. They're there to see each other. They're there to hear the music.
Yeah, you're not background music.
And that's kind of a unique thing, I think, that we have.
It is.
Again, especially this isn't a small town, but it's not that big a town.
Yeah, it's pretty
And to have
pretty
that
small.
healthy audience that wants to hear, what you're doing in something different. And I think that's a nice trend.
It's so nice.
That's going on now. So
It's a good feeling.
it
for
is.
sure.
These are all your little children. You're sending out in the world your songs,
Yeah.
and then you just, I want them to be nice to my songs.
It is scary playing original music. Like, I don't want to look people in the eyes when I'm playing my songs. So I'm like, don't judge me. But then when it's well received, it's like a really unique and cool feeling. And I like it a lot.
That's good fuel for writing new music too. I like
It
that.
is. It makes me want to write more whenever that happens, which I need to do.
So go out there on the Spotify and all that and
Yes.
push those numbers up.
Please do.
She'll record
Changes by Leana Carter.
All right, Leana Carter. Check it out. All right, so you want some more? Let's get some more.
Some more songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is great.
I think I'll do a little cover song for you guys since we've been doing a lot of originals. But this is a special song because when I first met my husband, we had just started dating. I don't even know if we were officially dating yet, if we were just hanging out. But we were at his house and he had a guitar in the corner of the room. And I was like, oh, cool, you play guitar? And he was like, yeah, a little bit. And he played me a little bit of Wonderwall, because that's the go-to. And I was like, I also play guitar, And so I took the guitar and I was like, I'm going to get him with this one. I'm going to make him fall in love with this cute little love song. And it did work. Reporting back, he married me. So here's the song that I played for my husband for the first time. Kiss me out of the bearded barley nightly beside the green, green grass. Swing, swing, swing the spinning step. You wear the shoes and I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, and make the fireflies stand. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. Kiss me down by the broken tree house. Swing me upon its hanging dark green tree. Bring your flowered hat. Take the trail marked on your father's map. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike out the band, and make the fireflies stand. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, make the fireflies stand. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. So kiss me. Thanks.
That song is so perfect for your voice too.
Thank you. I've always loved Sixpence None the Richer. They're like an inspiration to me. But thanks. You want me to do another
keep going.
one?
I'm sorry
All
to interrupt
right.
you there. Just had to throw
I
that out there.
appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, that's what made my husband fall in love with me. Also, shout out to my husband Jordan because I would not definitely would not be playing music as a job if it weren't for him. First of all, taking care of our baby to give me the freedom to go out and do shows and things like that, but also giving me the confidence. Because when I first started out, he was pushing me to go talk to these venues. He was like, come on, you can do it. And I'd be like, no. And he'd be like, excuse me, my wife plays music. Can she get a gig here? So he really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I am grateful to him for that. But I don't need this. I'm going to do another classic country song for you guys, because my granddad and my grandma also are a huge reason why I'm playing music, and they raised me on that stuff. So here's an old Chris Christopherson song. It's one of my favorites. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Fumbled through my closet for my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. Washed my face and combed my hair and stumbled down the stairs to meet the day. Smoked my brain the night before on cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking. But I lit my first and watched a small kid cussing at a can he was kicking. I crossed the empty street and caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. And it took me back to something I lost somehow, somewhere along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, I was stoned. 'Cause there's something in a Sunday that makes a body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound of the sleeping city sidewalks and Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl that he was swinging. And I stopped beside a Sunday school and listened to the songs they were singing. I headed back for home, and somewhere far away a lonely bell was ringing. And it echoed through the canyon like the disappearing dreams of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. 'Cause there's something in a Sunday that makes a body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound of the sleeping city sidewalks, Sunday morning coming down. All right, thanks.
Very well done. What a great song, too.
Yes, that's one of my favorite songs.
Okay, so, Ms. Leana Carter,
Yes.
where can people find your music, learn more about you, find out where you're playing? all that good stuff.
So I post where I'm going to be playing on my Facebook and Instagram. They're both Leana Carter Music. On Instagram, it's at Leana Carter Music, no spaces or dashes or anything. And yeah, I post every week, my weekly dates, and then the day of, I'll post another little reminder where I'm going to be playing. So let's see. I know by the time this goes on, it's going to be next week. So let me look at my schedule so I can tell you, because I do not remember what's going on that far ahead. But okay, by the time you see this weekend, I'll be playing at Lone Star Boil House downtown with all the crawfish and shrimp and all that good stuff.
I've heard it's extremely good.
It's so good. And Saturday, I'll be at Little Village in St. Andrews from 1 to 4.
Love the Little Village.
I love it too. That is probably one of my favorite venues. And then that night, I will be at History Class downtown, another one of my favorite venues. And that's where you can find me this weekend.
Beautiful.
And again, that'll be on my Facebook and Instagram. If you forget, you can go on there and check where I'll be. Leana Carter Music.
And on Spotify and all the streaming,
All
Amazon
the streamings.
and iTunes
Yes,
and all that.
I have that one song about Phoebe on there, but hopefully we'll have some more soon-ish.
I know a guy. I know a guy that can hook you up.
That's what I've heard. We'll talk.
Not to me. I'm not that guy. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Leana Carter, for coming in and taking your time and sharing your beautiful voice and your inner voice with us.
Thank you.
How about one more for the road?
Let's do one more. Thank you for having me on. It's been truly an honor. And I'm going to close out with this last song. I'll do a second song about Phoebe because she's my favorite. This is the one that makes the parents cry. It's called Find Your Way, and it's about how our kids grow up and need us in different ways than when they were super, super tiny and not sleeping and crying all the time, because they become their own people, but hoping that they will always feel secure and safe with us as their safe place if they ever do need us. So here we go. It's called Find Your Way. It's hard to believe your little eyes staring back at me. One day we'll be all grown up. So I'll cherish these moments, knowing one day you'll be on your own. But it's nothing to be scared of, 'cause you can always come back home. You can always come back home. Anything you can envision, I want you to pursue. Your mom and daddy's love for you is one you can't undo. If times get too hard for you to walk through, you can always come back home. You can always come back home. We'll always be here, whatever you need. Safe place to land, somewhere soft to rest your feet. You'll be strong and independent, that's the way that it should be. Baby, please know you can always come back home. You can always come back home. Just find your way back home. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so very much. That's going to do it for us this week. Thank you again, Ms. Leana Carter.
You.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
You make sure you check out, support her as best you can, and we'll see you next week right here on Radio Cosmos Live. Bye, guys.
You know, this would be way better if it was Sprout TV. Well, until that happens, you're watching Radio Cosmos Live. I don't know.
designed by your fantasies. Oh, I'll be your everything. Paradise is a home I can give you if you make me your own. Don't wait or hesitate with me, you'll never be alone. But only time can tell how much heaven you'll see before hell. When I stop faking, hearts start breaking. I've got malicious blood. I hold you close and make the deepest cuts. When I come down and try to stitch you up, but it's never enough, never enough. Say you'll learn from the mess I've made. The next day I make the same mistakes. Apologize for the millionth time, but it's never enough, never enough. Watch out, I'm a people pleaser, friends who everyone wanted to show. But now, as a shapeshifter, I've never felt more alone. I'd give anything for a connection, but don't you get close to my soul. My desire burns hotter than fire. Before you blink, I'll swallow you whole. I've got malicious blood. I hold you close and make the deepest cuts. When I come down, I try to stitch you up, but it's never enough, never enough. Say you'll learn from the mess I've made. Next day I make the same mistakes. Apologize for the millionth time, but it's never enough, never enough. I opened my eyes and felt the weight was lifted. All at the same time, I realized I've been wrong from the start. It's like every time I get up, it all comes down. So what's the point? It feels useless. Ever since I last kissed, I've been nothing but a masochist. But I hate myself for hurting you. I've got malicious blood, but it won't change that you're my love. Might tear me down, but I can't give up, 'cause it's never enough, never enough. So I'll fight on my darkest nights just to keep you in my mind. God knows all the times I've cried, but it's never enough, it's never enough. In the end, it all fades to black. I hear the static surround the void in my mind. I tried my best to just be strong as human, to show I care. Maybe I'm pretending this isn't real. Maybe I'm just malicious.
Hey, this is Mike Thompson, and you're watching Radio Cosmos Live!
Christy's in the canyon, she's in the sun. Everybody's watching, you know she's having fun. The shutter snap, the flashes blow. Where did she go? Riding on the range, now I'm feeling saddle sore. She always gets me there, but she left me wanting more. Now I watch the fires glow, all alone. I hear you calling in the night. I hear you calling in the
stormy. I'll be trying my best. What happens to the body when the mind chooses stress? 'Cause I don't remember October, even when I'm trying my best. Heaven, heaven, tell me the doors at least open, so I can let myself in. Oh yeah, love, got a lot of pain but nothing to show. Ooh yeah, I got love. Oh yeah, love, could you come and open up your door?
It's been 2 long weeks since I've seen my home, my sweet home in the pines. They're telling me I can never come back. This place has been quarantined. I know what's been going on. I've seen it with my eyes. I thought Jesus would surely come back before the dead would rise. Before the dead would rise. They're running free on the mountain, roaming down through the pine. Zombies stole the home I love. They done broke this heart of mine. They done broke this heart of mine.
My sweetheart wouldn't listen to me when I told him to stay inside. Sheriff said he wandered off on a drunk, but I know what happened that night. I heard the screams from the back porch steps, saw the shutters spattered with stains. Next night he come back, I knew something was wrong when he told me he loved my brains. He told me he loved my brains. They're running free on the mountain, roaming down through the pine. Zombies ate the man I love. They done broke this heart
ever find out who done it, I hope they rot in jail. Could have been that last batch of moonshine that made him act so unkind. My mama told me that stuff was bad news. It's much worse than going blind. It's much worse than going blind. They're running free on the mountain, roaming down through the pine. Zombies ate the man I love. They done broke this heart of mine. They done broke this heart of mine. They're running free on the mountain, roaming down through the pine. Zombies ate the man I love. They done broke this heart of mine. They done broke this heart of mine. They done broke this heart of mine.
Seeing shadows in the dark, like an old familiar friend. They don't tell you who you are. They don't ask you where you've been. No, not anymore. They don't ask you anymore. They never need to know. Do you feel every weight that I carry? Do I carry it alone? I've been looking for a deeper understanding. It's so far from being known. I get stuck inside my head. In my head it's getting cold. Look for greener grass instead. Can't believe what I've been sold. No, not anymore. Don't believe it anymore. Don't believe what I've been sold. It's so far from being